A Tucson police officer was shot early this morning while he was in a hospital.
A man shot the officer with the officer's own gun. The officer was in St. Joseph's Hospital with a man who had already fought two different officers at a convenience store a few hours earlier. A few hours later at the hospital, the man was able to attack the officer and shoot him with his own weapon. Not on your sides, Craig Smith is live at Tucson Police Headquarters. How was the man in a position to attack that officer?
Well, that's one of the things that we are waiting to hear more detail about at this point. Police have been investigating this very carefully since the incident happened about 4 a.m. The one good piece of information we can give you right now is the officer's injuries are not life-threatening, but it's still something that we are waiting to learn more about how the man was in a position to attack the officer and how the man was in a position to get that officer's gun. But let's go ahead and take a look at some video from earlier today about what we do know at this point. Plenty of police rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital in the aftermath of a wild incident there about 4 a.m.
The officer was by himself in that room, just fighting for his life in there.
In that fight, the man managed to get the officer's gun away from him and shoot that officer. Officers say before the man got to the hospital, he was fighting with them. About past midnight, police sent him away from a convenience store after a trespassing complaint there. An hour later, police were back because the man came back, and officers say he wanted to fight. Police say during the fight, the man was able to tear the badge off one of the officer's uniform shirt and then came at him with the pin. Police managed to subdue the man. To treat his injuries, he was brought to St. Joseph's, where about 3.5 hours later, the fight broke out that left that officer shot. Now, again, we are still waiting for the names of the officer, the names of that suspect, and for an explanation of how the suspect was unrestrained in a manner that allowed him to attack that officer. One of the things that we were told early on was the suspect would normally be handcuffed in those sorts of situations where they're in custody, though in hospital for treatment from that earlier incident. But there might be a couple of times where to get some of that medical treatment, those handcuffs would be removed. So again, waiting for an update. We will pass it on to you when we get it. Reporting live, Craig Smith, KGUN-9 on your side.